On the Capitol Watch, data from the Pew Research Center shows about 35,000 undocumented immigrants live in Idaho. And right now, none of those people can legally drive. But that could change. The Senate Transportation Committee passed Senate Bill 1081 today, which would let undocumented workers get restricted driver's licenses. The bill will now get a full chamber debate for the first time in decades, and there's a reason for that. A vote in favor carries the connotation of supporting illegal activity, and a vote against means, of course, ignoring the reality of what is already happening in Idaho. Abby Davis brings us the debate from the State House. Abby?
Well, Brian, 19 states and territories already allow for restricted driver's license for undocumented workers. Supporters of these licenses say that they make for safer roadways, but other people aren't so sure. Every day, undocumented people in Idaho drive to work without a license.
There is an issue in Idaho, and it should be addressed.
To increase safety for everyone in the Gem State, several lawmakers and local organizations hope Senate Bill 1081 becomes law.
This would allow undocumented, or really any citizen that wanted something that was a little less invasive than a real ID or a star card or a Class D, to get a restricted driver's license.
Republican Senator Jim Guthrie introduced the bill, which Senate Transportation Committee members passed on Tuesday without recommendation. It's now headed to the Senate floor.
I think we might need the wisdom of the whole body as we debate and deliberate this.
People who are interested in getting a restricted driver's license would have to pass a competency test. And as the name suggests, there are some restrictions.
It's not something that could be used for voting or gun purchases or going through airports or any of those kind of things, entry into the country. None of that would be allowed with this.
But there's pushback, especially from Canyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue.
People in Idaho, the people who have brought this bill forward, have this false pretense and false advertising that if we give someone a legal driver's license, that'll automatically make them safer drivers. I can assure you that's not the case.
He says a restricted driver's license program would send the wrong message.
We can't be awarding people for entering in our country illegally or being in our country illegally. That's just not what America is.
Guthrie doesn't agree.
Try to separate the two issues and recognize this is not an immigration bill. It's a safety on the road bill that allows those that are in our economy and working in our labor force to have that element of safety. And again, that benefits everyone.
Again, committee members voted to send the legislation to the full Idaho Senate without a recommendation. In most cases, they send legislation on with a do pass recommendation, but lawmakers wanted a bigger, more in-depth conversation with the whole Idaho Senate. So today was a win for people in favor of this bill, but there's still a long way to go.
Listening to that hearing today, you can understand why they sent it forward without a recommendation. They kind of were like, well, I don't know exactly. So when could we might see that in the Senate chamber?
Well, Guthrie said it's a little bit hard to tell, but most likely at the end of next week or the week after that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, we will wait and see. All right, thanks, Abby.